So I'm home. Yeah. So I think we're going to get right into this. Without further ado, Mr. Watkins, I'm just going to sit back and eat my apple. And I'm just going to play video after video of what you say out of your mouth. Your mouth. It speaks for itself, sir. Then it sounded like you was making excuses. I said the 15-year-old looked 18, so it's her fault, Charlamagne? I mean, not Charlamagne. It's her fault, Boyce. I thought, the slut walk, and all that stuff. Thank you. I thought all that said that they can wear what they want to do and do what they want to do. Now you blaming the alleged victim? She looked too old, huh? You say you know a lot of friends like that, huh? I bet you do. But let me let you tell it in your own words. Hold on.
Stop what you're doing right now. Go grab a bottle of Miracle.
I think, do I got to say fair use?
The perfect cleansing reboot, and it promotes
Let me fast forward to your part.
Jackson Matt Barnes in a very disrespectful manner. Late because of something that happened a couple of weeks ago. His name was brought up on the All the Smoke podcast with Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, in a very disrespectful manner. His brother's been disrespected for the last 20 years, been called a bus and things like that. Relatively quiet, but he's quiet no more. He's going in. A lot of different layers to this, and we love to break this down. You got the Charlamagne layer, you got the man layer, like he was just talking about. He talks about real men and how the media definitely don't want real black men speaking on their airways. And this is why we get Stephen A. Smiths and Charlamagne the guys and things like that, because they're controlled by a higher entity of oppression. What is your thoughts on all that, brother? Please break it down. We shared our thoughts on it on the podcast and on our platforms, and we'd love to hear yours.
Let me say this. There is, I will give you a quick breakdown of why I think the world loves Kwame Brown. And then I'll break down what I love about Kwame Brown. The world loves Kwame Brown because he is a black version. He's a populist. He represents the people. He's using his voice to.
So you went and did a survey on the world, and you asked the world why they love me, and the world told you I was a populist? Now, I've asked you respectfully, sir, not to put words onto me, and now you telling me what I am without talking to me? I'm a populist. That's what you said, sir? Is that what you said? That was your words. I'm a populist. Now, what did I allege that the go along, get along gang do? Didn't I say they try to put words onto you? Then they try to make you feel stupid if you don't agree with the word. Oh, you're just sensitive. Oh, you just don't get it. Or I just don't want you fucking using your language on me. I want to be able to use words that I like. Okay? So let's move right along, because you seem to know a lot for a man that don't go heels. You seem to know a lot. I don't know you, sir, but let's keep going.
To say things a lot of people are thinking, but they don't have the prominence to be able to say, and that's why he's getting thousands of followers every day, and he deserves that. And also, I think Kwame represents the underdog. I heard him in a video where he was talking about how these people that were making money making fun of him didn't care about how this affected him, his family, his feelings, his children, things like that, and I got that, right? I think it was very hard to be Kwame Brown because he got the unfortunate experience of having to play with Michael Jordan at the age of 18, which was really sad, I think, because these guys come in, they just admire him and they idolize him. and they don't realize Jordan is a man of truth.
So to play with Michael Jordan is really sad, and you know that how? Okay, keep going.
Tremendous insecurity, and that's what makes Jordan into the biggest asshole of all time. He's the absolute worst guy in the world to play with when you're 18 years old, unless you were LeBron.
How would you, hold on, unless you were what?
James or something who could handle something like that, but I don't think Kwame asshole of all time. He's the absolute worst guy in the world to play with when you're 18 years old, unless you were LeBron James or something who could handle something like that, but I don't think Kwame could.
Wait, so unless you were LeBron James and you don't think Kwame could, Dr. Boyce, that's so uneducated. When we all know situations are circumstantial, where you get drafted and what you're placed under, how can two things be true at the same time, sir? Michael Jordan is the worst player in the world, but then LeBron is so great that all the other teammates and stuff, Jerry Stackhouse, who were proven all-star already, said he didn't want to play with him. But because you knew already LeBron was so great that he could go in there and play with Jordan, huh? I wonder why you mentioned LeBron. You're going to mention a lot of names in this little clip. I wonder what that means. Let's see. Let's keep it going.
As far as him being a bust, I'm not going to speak to that because he was in the league for 13 years. He made his money. Maybe he wasn't as good as everyone thought he was going to be, but he wasn't a terrible player. He was probably middle of the road, and that's fine. I think that the reason what I love about Kwame goes beyond just the whole basketball conversation. I wouldn't even care about debating that. I got a call from Steven Jackson the other day, and I did not talk to him. I've never met Steven.
He got a call from Steven Jackson. So you mean to tell me Boyce Watkins is so important and he just stopped shit to where Steven Jackson and me and Matt Barnes get in an argument and they need to call a doctor? They had to call a doctor. What they call a doctor for? Boy, this shit getting spooky. Okay, so they called the doctor. He never met him. He don't know him. But he got a call from him to talk about me. They called the doctor. He said it. Let's keep it going.
But I didn't know what he wanted to talk to me about, and we just didn't catch up. And I'm kind of glad we didn't because I don't really get in the middle of it in that.
Hold on, did he say catch up? Because when you catch up with somebody, you had already met them before, but he said he didn't know them. Hold on.
I've never met Steven, but I didn't know what he wanted to talk to me about, and we just didn't catch up. And I'm kind of glad we didn't because I don't want to really get in the middle of it in that way. The he said, she said. I don't really like. I always have to do double takes when I see a lot of destructive energy going back and forth around black men, just because I don't know who wins from that. However, except for the white man does win from that all the time. But at the same time, though, I think that Kwame is raising the consciousness of a lot of people because I listen to his words and I hear a guy who is black first, and that's very important to me. I use the hashtag #B1 when I talk a lot because I'm tired of us sitting back and letting celebrities milk the community and give nothing back. And I heard Kwame just today in a rant where he was breaking down how a lot of these celebrities who will become successful and make money and don't tell anybody how they did it will kind of use the community and attack.
So you've been watching a lot of my shit, Dr. Boyce. You watching a lot of my shit, boy. Boy, you studying me for real. Why you studying me if you already so goddamn smart? You that smart. And you that condescending with everybody when they call in your show. But you studying a guy that you don't even want in your 10%. Kind of weird, Doc. What's up, Doc?
Black men in a way they want to attack anybody else. He made a very good point when he did reference Steven Jackson and said, you were saying stuff about me that was crazy. And if a white man had said that, he would have got fired. He would have got reprimanded. But the white-owned media will allow a black man to say anything about another black man. And they think that's okay. And I've always talked about that even with music.
I ain't never heard you say that, Doc, that only black men are talking about it. Now, I know I done said it. Now, you said it too? Damn.
They will allow genocidal music that promotes the death and the murder of black people. They will put that on the airways and play it all day. But I dare you to say something about Jewish people. I dare you to say something about Asian people.
Doc, it sounds like you saying everything I'm saying. Now, I'm about to get like another YouTuber. Because I remember making a little jingle saying, y'all ain't going to tell me what to say. And that's the reason why I curse. And I started singing, sexy little B, sexy little, let a nigga deep in your throat, throw baby. I started singing that song. And I gave the reason why I was talking the way I was talking, because once you can pay a rapper or pay an artist to sing destruction to these kids, then you're not going to tell me what to say. Now you trying to clean it up or something? I don't know. Maybe you're not. I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions.
You seen it? I dare you to say something about white people. Your ass will be gone. They shut Rick
Ross down. I said I don't want to make any
assumptions. Off the feminists, right? Michael Jackson got shut down real quick. Jay-Z got shut down real quick when they even uttered anything about the Jewish community. But you talk about black people all day, that's all right. So, so I like what Kwame's doing more than I dislike it. I cannot give a complete formative opinion because I have not watched every single video through its entirety. He's made a lot of videos and said a lot of things about a lot of people. But from what I
said a lot of things about a lot of people.
I like.
So, Doc, I said a lot of things about a lot of people, and none of those people said anything about me, sir. So Charlemagne, the guy you know and like, talked about my daddy, my dead brother, my other brother that he thought was in prison. And you can't mention that? I'm just talking about everybody, huh? But we'll keep going, because this is the soft interview of when you was talking about me. It gets worse when you get in your car and in your own platform. This is when you was keeping it cute a little bit. And then today, I guess you got a little tough. I don't know. But it's just confusing to me why you was talking about me today when we haven't even, what's the point? I don't get it.
The general idea that he is making people talk about these issues and confront them. Jamel Hill, I felt like Jamel Hill's been full of shit for a long time. Yeah, man, thank you. She's a white feminist and black fan. Charlemagne the God, I had mixed feelings on that just because
Look at what he say about Charlemagne.
And say personally that Charlemagne has ever been disrespectful toward me, but I do know for a fact that Charlemagne the God, I had mixed feelings on that just because I can't say personally that Charlemagne has ever been disrespectful toward me. But
so that's how you introduce it like that, make it real soft. What does what Charlemagne have been alleged to do and play it to a lesser charge? What does that have to do with him being nice to you? Nobody don't give a fuck how nice he was to you. But okay.
I do know for a fact that my issues with Angela Rye, who's one of the most disrespectful people I've ever met, I believe that caused a rift in my relationship with Charlemagne. And I think Charlemagne knows that Angela's full of shit, but I didn't press him on it because Charlemagne's always been nice to me, right? So I'm not going to sit here and just bash him or talk about all the other stuff that Kwame's talking about. I feel like that's their beef between those two. But for the most part, I think that we have to kind of really talk about the things that Kwame's bringing up, in the sense of how many black people are there on TV who are handpicked by white-owned media to say certain things about black people and influence black people in certain ways. So smart people are picking up on that, and I think smart people appreciate it for good reason. So I'm actually.
So only smart people pick up on everything. Who determined who's smart to you?
And Kwame speaking. I hope he continues to do that.
Now, out of this whole thing, you had to cancel Charlemagne. People come out What's your thoughts on those people that came out, because Kwame got that whole thing triggered again?
Yeah, I think that's a cross he has to bear. Again, like I said, Charlamagne's a great supporter of people that I love, like Dr. Claude Anderson. I think Kwame supports him.
Charlamagne is a great supporter of the people that I love. You know why it's so hard to get Charlamagne ass off the radio? It's because what I told you, White Zaddy is very good. They give access to their wealth and their resources to weasels like that, and they give it to important people that you guys will validate and stamp with respect. And then Charlamagne will do something for that person, and that person won't come out and talk against Charlamagne. It's the go along, get along gang. Now I'm gonna let you hear it one more time though.
And triggered again.
Yeah, I think that's a cross he has to bear. Again, like I said, Charlamagne's a great supporter of people that I love, like Dr. Claude Anderson. I think Kwame supports him also.
And triggered again.
Yeah, I think that's a cross he has to bear. Again, like I said, Charlamagne's a great supporter of people that I love, like Dr. Claude Anderson. I think Kwame supports him also.
And triggered again.
Yeah, I think that's a cross he has to bear. Again, like I said, Charlamagne's a great supporter of people that I love, like Dr. Claude Anderson. I think Kwame supports him also. So I think we can agree on that. As far as what happened with this thing with the girl, that first of all, I had to be consistent on that because of the way I've sort of broken down other situations like that.
Yeah.
I do think evidence matters, and I think that if there's no evidence, then it's hard to really act on something as if it happened when you don't know exactly what happened. True. And I do think
you didn't say that about Bill Cosby, or did you? Somebody let me know if there was no evidence, and it ain't necessarily true that there wasn't no evidence, sir. But I'm gonna let you keep going.
We should consider the fact that it was about 20 years ago or something like that. I mean, he was 22 years old.
It was about 20 years ago. So if something happened to a woman a long time ago from the people that you like, it's okay. But if it's the people you don't like, they can go to jail, like Bill, right? It's like two different. You're saying it's 20 years ago. Brett Kavanaugh, how long ago was that? I ain't hear you say nothing about that. It's interesting, Doc.
Say she's 15. She looks like she's 18. A lot of men wouldn't have been in that situation, but I know a lot of men who would have been in that situation. And I know men
what
who
he said
in that situation. She looks like she's 18. About 20 years ago or something.
So wait, Doc. So if a woman is 15, but she looked like she 20, then it's okay? So if a woman is young, so I got a young daughter. I have a 13-year-old now. So if she look 17, 18, then you'll go along, get along gang. It's okay for them, huh? And that's why y'all talk about mental illness so much now. That's why all you punk motherfuckers keep talking about mental illness, because behind the scenes, y'all writing up bills to where that pedophilia behavior is going to be classified as mental illness, so you don't really go to jail. Is that why all you some bitches only talk about mental illness when you get caught doing something? I told you I was something else. Let me let your words eat your ass up like I told you.
Something like that. I mean, he was 22 years old. Let's say she's 15. She looks like she's 18. About 20 years ago or something like that. I mean, he was 22 years old. Let's say she's 15. She looks like she's 18. A lot of men wouldn't have been in that situation, but I know a lot of men who would have been in that situation. And
you know, a lot of men that would have been 22 that would have 15-year-old that look 18. Ooh, Dr. Boyce, you nasty as fuck.
She looks like she's 18. A lot of men wouldn't have been in that situation, but I know a lot of men who would have been in that situation, and I know men who've been put in that situation even by accident, even when they did take the precautions. You know, I know.
Damn. So you know a lot of men that would have been in that situation. You know a lot of men and all that, and you know a lot of men that been put in there by accident. Boy, you know a lot of men that be around a lot of bullshit. God damn. Do you know any men that be around other than bullshit? You know a lot of men that a lot of men that a lot of men. You a nasty motherfucker.
When Lawrence Taylor got hemmed up, a stripper told, or she wasn't a stripper, she worked for one of those butt doctors that injects women's asses and shit. And she told me a whole story about how there was a gang of women that one of them was 15 and the other two were like 17 and 18, and they would use fake IDs to basically lure men in and make them. And the man would say, "Hey, are you really 18?" And they say, "Here's my driver's license," right? And next thing you know, they got caught up with a younger girl. Now, I personally think brothers should be more careful. I think.
Doc, are you giving a whole scenario and a whole excuse to justify a scenario that ain't how shit to do with Charlemagne the hoe? He was fully aware, allegedly, that this was a young lady and went to talk to her mama and everything. He knew she was young. Why are you giving that excuse, sir? What'd you say? Boy, you a trip, Doc. You a trip. You just had to keep reaching, huh, Doc? I was trying to leave you the fuck alone, but you keep fucking with me. But I was hearing the shit you were saying, and my third eye told me when you had them people call me to don't talk to you and just leave you alone. But you keep fucking with me. Now I'm gonna fuck with you. But I'm really not fucking with you, Doc. I'm not doing anything but letting you talk. Cause you smart, right? You a genius, right, Doc? So I'm just letting you talk. So we're gonna let the people hear you. What's up, Doc? Here you go.
You got to be careful about where you plant your seed and where you lay down and who you lay down with, because then you become vulnerable. But I'm not one to sit here and say that there couldn't be more to it than we think. So do I defend Charlemagne on that? I don't have the qualifications to defend him because I wasn't there. I don't know the situation. Do I think that they did suppress that because?
So wait, when talking about Charlemagne, you got a brain. You know how to say you ain't there for the situation. You really don't know the situation. But in talking about old Busted Bus, you seem to know a lot. How can you be two different people like that so quickly, sir? When you speak about Charlemagne, you got a half a brain. It's a lying ass, bitch ass brain. But when you speak about me, you know everything. You don't never use that logic and say, well, maybe I don't know. And, let me just leave that alone. Woof, Doc. Told you that thing over there. No, it's over that way. Told me don't fuck with you. It told me don't fuck with you. You don't know how to think. You talk too much. This gonna prove you talk a lot.
He's important in media. Yeah, I do. Do I think that Kwame has a right to push the issue? Yeah, I guess he does. And then at that point, the chips fall where they may. And that's the furthest I can really go with that. I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, he did it, because nobody knows if he really did it. But if you say maybe she has the right to speak, why not? I mean, why hasn't she been able to really tell her story the way she wants to? I think the public will have to work that part out, because that is a tough one.
Yeah. Well said. Also to kind of talk about that, he kind of referenced, or Kwame referenced his family and how the media, in particular Charlemagne, when it looked like Master in trying to help Kwame Brown, brought up his father's history, brought up his brother's history, brought up a lot of history to try to make this huge black man look like he's a monster. And when he comes on here and articulates himself with emotion, that they're going to trigger and see just that. And then that gets in the airwaves. I'm glad that he broke that down. What do you think about that, that aspect of it, how the media puts things subconsciously in all of our brains who watch it to demonize, in particular, the black man? Jamel Hill as well. I'm glad you brought her up.
Well, I mean, just look at the way they deal with Farrakhan. They banned Farrakhan from social media and claiming that he promotes violence. And Farrakhan does not promote violence. He's not a violent man, but he's an honest man. and he's honest about America's history. He's honest about the things that that a lot of Black folks on TV cannot be. Why is it that there are things the community may apologize? Yeah. And that apology to me says, okay, so what you're saying is that you did something that was wrong. And then I did see Kwame's response where he did not accept the apology and felt that Charlamagne had overstepped and that Charlamagne had painted him in a certain way deliberately. And is that the case? Well, I think that is true. I think that at that point, I think Charlamagne would probably agree that he shouldn't have even addressed any of that. And I think also the fact that he came out on the air with bad information is a problem. When you talk about something that's serious about somebody's family, you better have your I's dotted and your T's crossed. And it sounds like they did not have that done. And it sounds like it made it worse. It's made it worse for Charlamagne because now Kwame is coming back, not accepting the apology and doubling down on his original statement that the lady needs to be heard. And I think that having her heard is the thing that they're afraid of. They don't want anybody talking about it at all. And I think that if she's part of the Black community, which she is, then her story needs to be heard too. I just encourage anybody that's listening to listen to all sides though. Like, don't just pick a side in advance because these can be very complicated, right? So I think overall though, right now Kwame's winning, and is that going to continue? I don't know. But I do think that if you walk away from all of this without taking in some of what he's saying and applying that to our media, then you're missing the whole point. Because at the end of the day, some of the stuff he's saying about some of our Black media outlets being controlled or Black.
All right, let's go to the next.
My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I had a thought. I want
at the end. Hey, at the end, you wasn't that bad, softy.
I hope that it's taken with the spirit that it's intended. It has to do with Kwame Brown.
It's another video.
Brown has, this brother has set the internet on fire. He is calling people out, breaking things down, doing some real interesting stuff. And I really enjoy watching it kind of happen. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. And I know a lot of people are into it right now. He's probably the most talked about person on the internet. I mean, Kwame Brown is a guy that I didn't think much about him, to be honest with you, until recently, until all this started happening.
I didn't think much about you either. So why you had to add that in? Who are you, sir? You didn't think much about me? Why would you be thinking about a man? You a condescending motherfucker.
I knew of him like a lot of people did because of his play in the NBA. But it seemed to me that the whole, idea of being called a bust for 20 years, it's unfair, and I can see how stressful that could be. But here's the interesting thing.
If you never been called a bust for 20 years, how could you see how stressful that is? Did you ever tell him to stop, Doc? Did you ever, out of the 20 years, say, hey, maybe year 12, leave him alone? So how could you see? Fake motherfucker.
Right? I want to share this thought about the whole Kwame Brown situation. And I didn't really get involved too much. I did get hit up by Steven Jackson. I have to be honest with you. Steven Jackson messaged me. I've never talked to the guy. I didn't know what he wanted to talk about. I'm willing to hear anybody out in terms of what their perspective might be. I think everybody deserves to have a voice, but Steve and I never really talked. And to be honest with you, I don't.
So on every podcast you go on, or now that you're in the car, you got to keep making sure you say over and over, we never really talk. You never really talk. So then why the fuck he got your number? How did he get your number? And why in the fuck Steven Jackson and all these guys that's with all the smoke, if they want all the smoke, what the fuck they got to call you for, sir? Okay, so in calling you, what did it accomplish? Because I'm still saying fuck you, and I'm still saying fuck both of them motherfuckers. So what calling you did? Fuck all three of y'all. Like baby say, fuck all three of y'all. Nigga, the hell you talking about calling you for what? What they calling you for, OG? Boy, y'all so easy.
Really know even what my role in that all that would be. But here's what I can tell you that I've observed in terms of watching Kwame. I started watching a lot of his videos, and it's good. It's really interesting stuff, and I agree with a lot of it. I mean, Jamel Hill. I've always thought Jamel Hill was full of shit. Stephen A. I'm about 40-60 Stephen A. Sometimes he's fine, but other times he gets on, stuff he does gets on my nerves. I do agree that the black elite are owned and controlled by
you a black elite.
White supremacies everywhere. You guys know we've been talking about this for years. I mean, if you've been watching this channel more than a month, then you know that this is something that we've been discussing for a long time.
So, Dr. Boyce, by your own admission, you've been talking about something for years. Doc, you seem like a bad doctor. Because if I go to the doctor and my arm is cut, if you just sitting there talking about it, and you ain't sealing this motherfucker up and suturing it and stopping the bleeding, then you're not a good doctor. So you've been talking about something for a long time, Doc, by your own words, with no results. Or not none that's, we can measure that's affecting a large group of people. So it might be time you stop talking, Doc. Just might. Excuse me. It might be time you stop talking, Doc. Or just switch it up a little bit. Because you've been doing this many years. This is what you said. I'm not disrespecting you, Doc. I'll show it to you. Hold on, Doc. Let me show it to you.
White supremacies everywhere. You guys know we've been talking about this for years. I mean, if you've been watching this channel more than a month, then you know that this is something that we've been discussing for a long time. How white-owned media, they don't want to.
You've been discussing this white-owned media for a long time, Doc. You ain't did a damn thing about it, Doc. Now, I got my happy black ass off my tractor, and I came in here, and I've been kicking drawers and asses and exposing you niggas and these white folk, because you niggas are the biggest part of these white folks and the most protected and the most important part, because we can spot white folks as soon as they say something. The world is on notice about white folks. But see, we can't see people like you. Well, they can't. I can. See, white boys need people like you that everybody respect and everybody gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. So the dumb shit that you say out your mouth, most people just gonna go with it because they like you. Well, I never liked you, Doc. So I was listening to what you were saying. And that's why I'm staying at a distance from most people, because I don't want to fucking like you. I want to be able to hear you. And I heard you. Everything you said go against everything I stand for. So I don't want to talk to you, Doc, like I said before. And I hope after the night you understand why you shouldn't be talking about me. But I'm going to let you keep talking, Doc.
To hear from real black people. Like, think about this. Why is it that Dr. Claude Anderson is never invited on these major media outlets, but yet they'll bring some buffoon who knows nothing about economics on there, and so it's kind of disrespectful. But then again, though, they've been disrespectful.
So, Doc, who is the buffoon that don't know anything about economics that you was referring to? Because you're speaking on Kwame Brown, and then you use the word buffoon that don't know nothing about economics. Who are you talking about?
Respecting you for over 20 years. They've never respected you. They've never liked you. Some of y'all Negroes are so stupid that you think that Joe Biden is your buddy. And Joe Biden incarcerated more black men than any president in American history. So how the hell is a guy that incarcerated more black men?
Okay, you did say that part. So I give you credit for that. See, I'm fair.
Than any president in American history, suddenly your hero and your idol and your homeboy. I don't get that. That's the craziest thing in the world to me. And thank God he's showing exactly who he is, But anyway, with that said, I want to, kind of point out a couple of thoughts that I had about Kwame. There's literally nothing that I need you to do with this information. It's just me. I like to think. I'm a thinker, right? And I'm an observer and a watcher. I like to see which way the wind's blowing. And here's the thing about Kwame that's really interesting. Kwame is he's digging into this internet thing. He's taking off kind of the way Kevin Samuels did. I noticed that when Kevin Samuels, three people I think about that just blew up on the internet just quickly were Kwame, Kevin Samuels, and also that rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. He was the guy that did all the snitching.
I'm gonna play that back one more time.
And one thing I noticed is that all about that just blew up on the internet just quickly were Kwame, Kevin Samuels, and also that rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know, he was the guy that did all the snitching. And one thing I noticed is that all of them figured out about that just blew up on the internet just quickly were Kwame, Kevin Samuels, and also that rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know, he was the guy that did all the snitching. And one thing I noticed is that all of them figured out.
So Dr. Boyce, what does Kevin Samuels, Kwame Brown have to do with a guy who was an admitted gang member that allegedly had people shot at and went to jail for snitching? Who am I snitching on? Is there such thing as a go along, get along gang? Because you said I was crazy. So crazy people say darndest things. I can't be snitching if I'm crazy. Is there a go along, get along gang, Doc? You compared two black men to a gang member, alleged gang member, or either former gang member, snitch. Didn't mention nothing about the content of what we were talking about. We just blew up like the snitch did. So we just there faking like Tekashi was, huh? That's what we doing, boys.
Like what the formula was. They saw that everybody was going crazy, and it was, that they were getting 10, 20, 30,000 people watching their lives. So each of them kind of had a formula, and each of them started milking the cow, making a ton of content and all that. Like Kevin Samuels goes live probably two, three times a day. It seems
milking the cow.
And he's good. He's damn good at what he does. Tekashi, when Gummo came out, where he was pretending to be a gangster, and it worked really well. Next thing you know, every video sounded like Gummo. And then with Kwame loves going online. He loves having this platform, and I'm happy for the brother. I really am. It's no problem with it at all. I mean, I'm sure people must.
Yeah, it sounds like you happy that you would put Tekashi in front of me and say he was pretending to be gangster, and then you said, and Kwame, he loves to go online. But Doc, you say you smart, right? How come you're not talking about anything the content that I was saying, the context of what I was saying? How come you're not challenging the points of anything I'm saying? How come you're not talking about any of the reading centers or talking about the shoe programs and help me put the program together? How come you didn't offer your service in that way? How come you keep offering up your motherfucking opinion and what you think? Oh, I forgot. You ain't never really built shit. You just been talking for a very long time. By your own admission, you just been talking. So now you just want to keep talking, but now you want to get paid off talking about me.
Scrambling and very upset that he's not owned and controlled by anybody. And that's what makes people like that very dangerous.
Hold on.
If you have a guy that's no problem with it at all. I mean, I'm sure people are scrambling and very upset that he's not owned and controlled by anybody. And that's what makes people like that.
Wait a minute. I think he just said he's sure that people are very upset that I'm not owned and controlled by anybody. And I think he's going to say that's what makes me very dangerous. He used the words dangerous. So if an American, what he's admitting is he's saying that most people are owned and controlled. And if you're not owned and controlled in America, the United States of America, where this whole flag and all this warring is about being free, this doctor said he's sure people are upset that I'm not owned and controlled when we're going to war over freedom. Doc, I'm going to let you say it one more time. Doc, you're not that smart, are you, boy?
No problem with it at all. I mean, it's, I'm sure people are scrambling and very upset that he's not owned and controlled by anybody. And that's what makes people like that very dangerous, right? If you have a guy that's smart, that sees what's going on, that cares about black people, and isn't scared to say what needs to be said. And
if you have a guy that's smart, whoa, hold up. I can't mess these words up. Hold up.
He's not owned and controlled. Kwame loves going online. He loves having this platform, and I'm happy for the brother. I really am. It's no problem with it at all. I mean, I'm sure people are scrambling and very upset that he's not owned and controlled by anybody. And that's what makes people like that very dangerous, right? If you have a guy that's smart, that sees what's going on, that cares about black people, and isn't scared to say what needs to be said.
So if you're smart and you know what's going on, and you care about black people, you're dangerous. And Doc already know that already. I wonder how he knew that. I wonder how Doc knew that if you're a black man and you're intelligent and you care about black people, you're dangerous. I wonder why Doc is under the impression that if you're not owned and controlled by anyone, then you're dangerous. Doc, when you go back on Hip Hop News, I got a question for you. One, how do you know, Doc, that people are upset that I'm not owned and controlled? Where did you get this information from? Do you know these people? And Doc, this is United States of America, correct? This is not Nazi Germany. Aren't all of us free? Aren't all of us in control of our thoughts? And do you know the people who are owned and controlled so we can get a head count? Can you tell the rest of us the people who are owned and controlled so we can get a head count of them? Because it sounds like you mad that I'm not a part of some type of system that I like to call the go along, get along game. So Doc, let's let everybody hear your words one more time. Doc, this is astonishing, Doc. For a free, strong man, powernomics. Don't sound like no power over here. Sound like you know your place. Sound like you right under control, boy. You know your place real well. Are you trying to talk to me to get me in my place, Doc? Are you trying to talk to me to get me in my place? That's why you want to talk to me, Doc? Or you want to tell me what to do? You want to hook me up with somebody else you know that you think I respect, and that way they can get me to be quiet? Doc, I told you I was something else, Doc. Let's keep listening to you.
He's not owned and controlled. Kwame loves going online. He loves having this platform, and I'm happy for the brother. I really am. It's no problem with it at all. I mean, I'm sure people are scrambling and very upset that he's not owned and controlled by anybody. And that's what makes people like that very dangerous, right? If you have a guy that's smart, that sees what's going on, that cares about black people, and isn't scared to say what needs to be said, and there's not a white guy that can pick up the phone and control him, then that's a dangerous black man. Now, when you talk about Charlemagne, I see somebody said, talk to your friend Charlemagne.
Dr. Boyce, do you know any other brothers that a white man can call and pick up the phone and control them? Ain't that what you just said? Hold on.
He said, and there's not a white guy that can pick up the phone and control him, then that's a dangerous black man. Now, when you talk about Charlemagne, I see somebody said, talk to your friend Charlemagne, etc. Well, Charlemagne is my friend. Charlemagne has always been respectful to me, and I told, and even Stephen Jackson. I don't know Stephen Jackson, but I'm not going to dislike him just because Kwame dislikes him. Some of y'all have to understand discernment. Like sometimes you have people where you might be cool with both people, but they just don't like each other, and that's fine. That doesn't mean you have to pick a side, right? I don't think that the public should feel like they have to pick a side. The only side I want you to pick is the black side, right? The side that I pick is I'm B1, period. Like that's it. That's what I am. I've been that consistently for 20 years. I've never shifted my tune. I pretty much.
So for 20 years, you never shifted your tune. That don't sound like growth to me. You plant anything, and in 20 years, it's going to be big. You have been talking the same tune for 20 years. What impact have you had? See, Doc, I don't want to be friends with everybody, Doc. See, I know you thought because, like I told you, I know you thought because Judge Joe said he was my mentor, and he had a few other people call me, and they told me to leave you alone. They asked me to leave you alone. And I said, as long as you wouldn't say nothing about me, it's over with. I wouldn't say nothing about you. And you kept talking, Doc.
Give you what I see, and I'm as honest as I can be, and I give zero fucks what anybody thinks about that. I never have, never will, never do. Now, with that said, though, here's what I'm observing with Kwame, and this is what my warning actually in terms of where this is going to go. Kwame is.
Here's my warning of where this is going to go.
Is powerful because he's a populist. I heard him literally use the term "we the people," right? And that's a populist kind of sentiment, and populist energy. That is the kind of energy that you have behind the summer protests with Black Lives Matter. Populist energy is what was behind the.
I told you they try to use their words, and I keep telling y'all they're easy to beat. They throwing words on me. Now I'm a populist. I didn't go to college, so they didn't ask me did I know what this word means. But they just go give it to me. What's wrong with saying we the people? Ain't you got that on the money? What's wrong with saying we the people? We're the ones voting together. We're the ones fighting together, dying together. Why isn't it we the people? Why is that such a bad thing all of a sudden?
Movement on the right when the people stormed the Capitol. Populist energy is what is behind the Tea Party or the French Revolution. That's a long-term idea that's been around for 1,000 years. So Kwame is
So I'm displaying the type of energy that stormed the Capitol and all this other stuff. So I'm a populist, and then right after you say that, you start talking about events that happen negatively behind people who are populists, and then you start talking about me again. But I shouldn't have no problem with you, huh, Doc? You was just nice to me, huh? Condescending bitch.
On the right when the people stormed the Capitol, popular protests with Black Lives Matter, can literally use the term "we the people," right? And that's a populist kind of sentiment, and populist energy. That is the kind of energy that you have behind the summer protests with Black Lives Matter. Populist energy is what was behind the movement on the right when the people stormed the Capitol. Populist energy is what is behind the Tea Party or the French Revolution. That's a long-term idea that's been around for 1,000 years. So Kwame is a populist, and that's why so many people love him, because he's speaking up for the people that don't have a voice. So a lot of people that don't have a voice are like, this is great. This guy is really saying what we want to hear. He's saying the things that other people won't say. He's calling out the elite for their behavior, which they certainly should be dealt with. They should be held accountable. So, I'm fine with that. I don't have any issue with how he does his thing, because that's his platform. But the other thing about Kwame
that's interesting is the way he challenges the black elite. He talks about the black elite that's on TV and speaks that honest truth that we've always talked about on this platform, that a lot of times the worst ideas get out to the black community because the Negroes on TV care nothing about actually going in and building for the community. And the reason they don't is because if they do that, they'll be punished. They'll be taken off the platform and replaced by somebody who plays ball. So the as he calls the go along to get along gang, basically is, and this is one of the reasons why I don't really answer the phone most of the time when black celebrities reach out to me, is because I don't want to be in that club. Because what happens is that when you start gaining power, then they start inviting you into the circle. They start pulling you in. And next thing you know, when you do a video, somebody's calling you saying, hey man, I saw what you said about so-and-so, and I'm hoping that you could like not do that anymore, not say that anymore, or change your tune a little.
Doc, how come you describing exactly what happened when I got a call about you? How come you're describing what exactly happened when I got several calls about Charlemagne? How come you're describing what happened when I got several calls about Jack?
I've had that happen. I remember Mark Lamar Hill called me about something I said about Melissa Ford, the video vixen lady. And no disrespect, I just
let's get to the other one.
Ridiculous.
I didn't know how many.
Amount of
Doc, how many videos did you make about me? Jesus Christ! Here go another one. DJ Khaled was your remixer. Another one. Another one. When you gonna leave me the fuck alone? It's another video. Damn, part 1, part 2, part 3, nigga made a whole docu-series about a dumb bus. Doc, you out here making docu-series about me?
Betting that you do to ensure that you don't let too many people in your space. So unlike a lot of people who want to get closer to celebrities, I always kind of stay away from them, right? Ice Cube, I talked to Ice Cube because Ice Cube fully...
Doc, you always stay away from celebrities. Well, you call me a celebrity, and I'm asking you to stay the fuck away from me off the internet too. Stay the fuck away from me, Doc. There's too many damn videos about somebody you don't know.
Convince me that Ice Cube is trying his best to be independent and do what's best for black people. So at that point, that's when I knew that we had a similar interest. That's when I knew that, okay, I could talk to this guy. That's when I knew, like, okay, this brother's too many cooks in the kitchen. You have too many interests that you're trying to look out for that are going to get in the way of us being able to get things done. So I like the fact that Kwame appears to be somewhat independent. I like when he says, look, you invited me on your show. I don't want to go on your show, right? He doesn't need to go.
Why you keep dropping little condescending shit, motherfucker? I appear to be a little bit independent.
On anybody's show, like why in the flying fuck do we even validate mainstream bullshit white-owned media where they're telling lies every single day by basically trying to get in and get on there? The reason Roland Martin is such a ridiculous buffoon half the damn time is from some major already good enough. You matter already. Bedroom, doing videos, talking shit, and nobody can really touch him or get at him. At least it doesn't appear that way. Now,
here you go again. At least it doesn't appear that way.
So at the end of the day, that's what I really like about it. I'm like, okay, this guy's sitting there in his bedroom doing videos, talking shit, and nobody can really touch him or get at him. At least it doesn't appear that way.
Now, why does he keep referring to somebody touching or getting at me? Why do anybody need to touch and get at a free American? What have I done to need to be touched or got at? And this is the second time you keep saying, at least it appeared that way. So what you're saying is, Doc, they're looking for the angle. They just haven't found it yet, but they're working on it, Doc. So in America, if you say a certain thing that you fake ass all-inclusive, some bitches keep claiming that y'all are. So what you saying, Doc, is it's dangerous to be an individual that is smart and love and care for black people. So what is everybody else? What are all so let me ask you this, Doc. What's scary to me, what's crazy to me is that we have a lot of so-called activists that I see standing and putting their fists up in the street, Doc. And I don't see you that concerned for them. You concerned for the guy that's supposed to be crazy and that's just sitting in his, one of his rooms in his house talking a bunch of crazy shit on the mic. So how is it that a guy that's just talking a bunch of crazy shit on the mic is getting more so-called threats and getting this type of talk from you than the people who out here with their fists in the air? These people getting flown around America with their fists in the air, buying properties. So maybe I should just call myself an activist, and then I can get some property, and then I can get off the internet, and then I be the type of people you like, or a person you like, Doc. I'm not understanding. Why is it so dangerous to sit in a room and talk on a mic? But there are actually activists out here now that they living just fine on golf courses. Are you saying that none of these people are activists anymore? Is that what you're saying? Because the activists of the past, they got firebombed. They got put in prison. They got to run and flee the country. Now activists seem like they got damn models and shit. They get houses right next to the very same white people they hate. So, Doc, which one is it? Why ain't the activists under so much pressure that I'm under, Doc? Doc, you're exposing the ugly truth. You should not talk so much on camera. Camera, no good for you. But I'm gonna let you finish, Doc.
Now, with that said, though, here's what I want to kind of get you to consider, and I hope I can say this and still be loved. I worry about Kwame's platform, not just because he's pissing off the elite. The elite, what they tend to do is they will.
Boy, either you scared of the elite or you worship the elite, because you keep mentioning the fucking elite. And I don't see these motherfuckers nowhere. Why you keep worrying about the elite? Doc, which one is more important in your life? The elite or Jesus Christ? Sound like you got more of a fear for the elite than you do for Jesus. What's up, Doc?
They will discredit. That's one of the things that they've been trying to do, and that's something that kind of went bad. I mean, Charlemagne, I think he's going to have some challenges because he got to deal with that whole thing from 20 years ago. He said some things where.
Look how he talked about it. Charlemagne got to deal with that thing from 20 years ago. That thing, huh? That thing. It was just a thing to you. It ain't this girl's life. It's that thing. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, Doc.
He ended up having to backpedal, and I don't know how that's going to work out for him. I don't really know. I literally, again, I can tell you, I can only speak to how he's treated me. He's always treated me with decency and respect. Another reason why I'm not throwing Charlemagne out with the garbage is because Charlemagne, or if you recall, was the guy who got Louis Farrakhan onto the Breakfast Club when all these white.
So, what it sounds like to me is how you stay in the good graces and protected when you're in the go along, get along gang is that you take white zaddy money and you help black, strong, powerful people. And you get them in your pocket to where they don't speak about the conditions of the black community. That is 2 times you've referenced situations that Charlemagne has helped. So if Charlemagne helped in certain situations, does that mean he gets to do what he did? Is that what you're saying? What you're saying is that as long as a person help a few people, help get some jobs, then they can have the worst behavior in the world? I don't get what you're saying, Doc, and maybe because you're a doc and there's a communication gap because I'm a little slow. But what it sounds like you saying is some bullshit, Doc. That's what it sounds like. But I'm gonna rewind it and let you say it again because I didn't get it the first time.
Media out treating me with decency and respect. Another reason why I'm not throwing Charlemagne out with the garbage is because Charlemagne, or if you recall, was the guy who got Louis Farrakhan onto the Breakfast Club when all these white-owned media outlets would not have him on there. That's a good thing. He got Dr. Claude Anderson onto the Breakfast Club. I worked with him to get Dr. Anderson on the Breakfast Club, where millions of people got exposed to powernomics and ideas of independent Black wealth and power. That's a good thing.
So is that why you talking about me so much? Because he got your powernomics and got Claude Anderson powernomics on the Breakfast Club? Is that why you indebted to him? Is that why you're doing your research on me? I don't remember saying anything to you, sir. Go along, get along, gang.
Worked with him to get Tariq Nasheed on the Breakfast Club because I remember Tariq reached out and said, "Hey, can you link me up with Charlemagne?" I said, "Sure." I linked them up, so that got Hidden Colors more out in the mainstream. So that was a good thing. So what I'm saying is that I think that what you definitely want to do as you kind of process all this is don't think that you always have to pick sides. That's my point. I think this again. Stupid people can do this, right? You got a lot of stupid people out here. A lot of our community is stupid, backward, don't want to think, not critical thinkers. That's not our strength as a community. To be honest, critical thinking isn't really, for many of us, that's not our strength. But for those of you that want to be critical, a lot of our community is stupid. We hate your guts and you ain't nothing. You just a big old buffoon. You a coon. Man, come on now. I mean, seriously, again, stupid people can do this, right? You got a lot of stupid people out here. A lot of our community is stupid, backward, don't want to think, not critical thinkers. That's not our strength as a community. To be honest, critical thinking isn't really, for many of us, that's not our strength. But for those of you that want to be critical, a lot of our community is stupid, backward. We hate your guts and you ain't.
Hold on. Did he say a lot of our community is stupid, backwards, and all that shit he say? Let me hear it again.
Nothing. You just a big old buffoon. You a coon. Man, come on now. I mean, seriously, again, stupid people can do this, right? You got a lot of stupid people out here. A lot of our community is stupid, backward, don't want to think, not critical thinkers. That's not our strength as a community. To be honest, critical thinking isn't really, for many of us, that's not our strength. But for those of you that want to be critical thinkers, I encourage you to realize that just because somebody on the internet or your favorite media personality has a beef with somebody, that you don't have to pick a side. You don't have to say, I hate you and I love you. Like, for example, Umar Johnson has hated me for 6 years. Umar Johnson has been mad at me since 2015 when I basically told my truth about how I felt about that school, which it's 6 years later, school ain't still is. Do not pick sides. Just because Umar doesn't like me, and because I rock with both of y'all, and I wish y'all would have more unity, but whatever, y'all can.
Boy, Dr. Boyce, you are a condescending motherfucker, boy. Why are you talking about? You heard what you said, boy? God damn, you got to be in that group because you real special to be able to say some shit like that. Now, let me play your last video. I hope this your goddamn last video because I can't play no more shit. I got to go to sleep. But I'm seeing this one, but shit. Oh, no, you got another one because you did one today. God damn, boys. Fuck I did to you.
Because this actually, now pay attention now.
Oh, now pay attention.
Somebody said, too much beefing is a destructive energy. It's not a building energy. So just understand, beefing is not building. Beefing is entertainment. Beefing is gossiping. Beefing is something that people enjoy on the internet because you got a lot of messy motherfuckers on the internet. You got a lot of people online who are immature, who who like to see black men going at each other's throats. And I personally don't really. It's like, okay, at what point are we actually creating something better? But then again, sometimes people have to be challenged, and I understand that. So I'm not here to say tell you what to think about that one way or the other. But here's one other thing about Kwame's platform I noticed that I think you may want to think about. And hit the thumbs up button, by the way. Please hit the thumbs up button because we're building black media, and I'd love your help. And please subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. Somebody said Umar does have a school. Okay, I haven't seen the school, but then again, maybe if I'm wrong, send me some information. But honestly, I think Umar. I'll talk about Umar later. I'm not here to talk about Umar. The real Derek Jackson says, "Boyce, you are a beta male." Well, fuck you. So there you go. Fuck you from a beta male. Let's see. Speak about it. Let's build and stop beefing. Jackson says, "Boyce, you are a beta male."
Doc, ain't you supposed to rise above that? Oh, let me hear what you said again, Doc.
Well, fuck you. So there you. I'll talk about Umar later. I'm not here to talk about Umar. The real Derek Jackson says, "Boyce, you are a beta male." Well, fuck you. So there you go. Fuck you from a beta male. Let's see. Speak about it.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, Doc. I probably would have said that shit too. So continue.
Let's build and stop beefing. Absolutely. He got married. Yes, I did. I married a beautiful black woman. Unsubscribing at the moment. Yes, you should unsubscribe. This is a platform for intelligent black people. So I personally think you should unsubscribe if you're not happy here. Like, this is not, in here is a privilege, not a right. So, so yeah, just. A platform for intelligent black people. So I did. Yes, I did. I married a beautiful black woman. Unsubscribing at the moment. Yes, you should unsubscribe. This is a platform for intelligent black people. So I personally think you should unsubscribe if you're not happy here. Like, this is not, in here is a privilege, not a right. So, so yeah, I'm not here to try to get as many followers as possible because I already, decided in the beginning, I only want like maybe 10% of the black community. I only want the 10% that want to be part of a few good men and women. I want the visionary. I only want like maybe 10% of the black community. I only want the 10% that want to be part of a few good men and women. I want the visionary. I only want this is not, in here is a privilege, not a right. So, so yeah, I'm not here to try to get as many followers as possible because I already, decided in the beginning, I only want like maybe 10% of the black community. I only want the 10% that want to be part of a few good men and women. I want the visionaries. I want the people that want to be intelligent. I want the people that want to build. I want the people that have courage and the people that have self-esteem that want to put their community first. So that's what I want. Like, I don't really care about the chatty people and the ignorant people.
You don't really care about the rest of you chatty, ignorant bitches. You only want 10%. It's getting hot in here. Damn, you only want 10%, Doc? That's a lot of more percent out there. What is that, 90% out there? That's a lot of motherfuckers, boy. I wonder who told them some shit like that. Maybe Bill Gates. Maybe somebody like that. Bill told them that. We don't need everybody. We just need the population control. Maybe somebody teaching this boy.
Because if you cater to ignorant people to build, I want the people that have courage and the people that have self-esteem that want to try to get as many followers as possible. Because I already, decided in the beginning, I only want like maybe 10% of the black community. I only want the 10% that want to be part of a few good men and women. I want the visionaries. I want the people that want to be intelligent. I want the people that want to build. I want the people that have courage and the people that have self-esteem that want to put their community first. So that's what I want. Like, I don't really care about the chatty people and the ignorant people because if you cater to ignorant people, then you got to be an ignorant motherfucker to fit in. If all your audience is
Boyce, Jesus Christ hung with bummers, prostitutes, pimps, murderers, and drunks. And you don't even want to be around ignorant people, stupid people, as you say? Boy, That is not Christ-like. You ain't got no God in you, boy. You get to pick out what people that you think is deemed worthy. And you call me what'd you call me, a populist? Because I'm for the people. Who the fuck are you for? Let me hurry and finish you off so I can go to bed.
Full of dumbass people who believe in dumbass things, then you got to be a dumbass to make them happy. The minute you start to think intelligently, you're going to lose them, right? So I'd rather lose the audience in advance than to build the audience and then be like, man, they ain't follow me no more. They don't like me no more because I said something smart. I challenged them to think, and now they're mad. They think I'm speaking too over their head. No, I'm not. No. This is for certain people, right? And it's okay, right? But one little thing about Kwame's platform too that I think that I was observing. So peep this out. I'm worried that his channel is going to get taken down. I'm worried that they're going to come and get his YouTube channel, and the reason is this. First of all, you already got the Black Elite going crazy. They gonna get lawyers and shit on you. They got buddies at YouTube and all this other shit. So they gonna pull every string they possibly can because they are more than.
Man, you know a lot about the people you fighting against. Is that why my YouTube page is slowing down and that why the sound goes out? Is that why, Doc? Because you know they got people at YouTube, because you know this, you know that. How do you know all these things?
Of what this guy's doing. Already got the Black Elite going crazy. They gonna get lawyers and shit on you. They got buddies at YouTube and all this other shit. So they gonna pull every string they possibly can because they are mortified of what this guy's doing. But the second piece.
What am I doing, Doc? You never really explain what you're saying. They're mortified that I'm actually talking back. And I said two little punks that was on the show today. So this is about money again, right? Because all I was doing was talking about two guys that was on the show. You said they mad about something that I'm doing? Hold on.
I saw when all this other shit. So they gonna pull every string they possibly can because they are mortified of what this guy's doing. But the second piece is I saw one of his videos that he did today. And the title of the video, in the title, he used the N-word, right? He used, I see y'all N-words talking, right? I'm trying not to use the N-word. So, I'm trying to do better. And here's the thing. They can technically define that to be hate speech. If a white guy, pay attention now, listen to me. I want you to really hear me. Don't before you get mad. Before you start thinking like, oh, this is he dissing Kwame. No, just because somebody ain't agreeing with every fucking thing somebody says, that means you're a critical thinker. You ain't dissing nobody. Get out of that ghetto teenager mindset. Like, start growing the fuck up. God damn it. So here's the thing.
Get out of the ghetto teenager mindset.
Says that means you're a critical thinker. You ain't dissing nobody. Get out of that ghetto teenager mindset. Like, start growing the fuck up. God damn it. So here's the thing. I want you to process this. If a white guy, and tell me this, if a white guy went on YouTube right now and made a video, and in the title he put, I see you N-words, N-I-G-G-A-S. I see you N-words talking. Give me a yes or no. Do you think that they will be able to take that video down or take down that channel? What's wrong, man?
Can everything feel down in my finger in the butt?
Yes, I am. Okay, let's go. Let's get the car. Okay. So
he's trying to act tough. We got things we got to do. She basically telling you, bitch ass nigga, get off live. We got things we need to do. This shit you doing ain't making no money. Nigga, get the fuck off live. Okay, get in the car. Let's go. Let's get in the car. Trying to hurry up. She whooped your ass when you got home. I know she did.
If a white guy had a video with that, yes, I am. Words talking.
Look at it. Boy, I wish I could show your face when she said, are you online? She sounded like she was so disappointed. Are you doing that bullshit again? Are you talking that dumb shit again? Knowing I'm paying all the bills? Huh? Are you online? Watch it.
Give me a yes or no. Do you think that they will be able to take that video down or take down that channel? What's wrong, man?
Can everything everything feel down and my finger hit a button? Are you alive?
Yes, I am.
We got things we gotta do.
Okay, let's go. Let's get in the car. Let's get in the car.
Don't try to overtalk her, nigga. We got things we gotta do right now. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. But please don't show everybody that you goddamn be getting on my ass.
Go down or take down that channel. What's wrong, baby?
Oh, how you knew already what's up? What's wrong? What's wrong, babe? So she opened the door. What's wrong, babe? What's wrong?
Words talking. Give me a yes or no. Do you think that they will be able to take that video down or take down that channel? What's wrong, babe?
Everything feel down and my finger hit a button. Are you alive?
Yes, I am.
We got things we gotta do.
Okay, let's go. Let's get in the car. Let's get in the car.
Okay.
So
This is not a good time, Doc. You should have got your ass offline. She said, this is not a good time. You got things you needed to do, but you took the time to finish up another almost 4 minutes talking about an old busted bus after your wife told you y'all ain't have time for this shit. Doc, why did you make time? Why did you make time for a guy you don't want to talk about? You clearly busy. You just got married. Your wife needs you. Your wife needs you. Why are you fucking with a man? Your wife needs you. She was crying out for you to get the fuck off the phone, but you gave a man your attention. She wasn't being disrespectful. She said, honey, are you online? She was concerned. That was a concerned voice. Honey, you doing this bullshit again? I mean, honey, you online? We got things to do, honey. Not today. Don't be making up no shit on nobody today. I mean, don't be doing that today. You sad. You couldn't even get off live when your wife that you just married, you ain't starting off too good, boy. You fresh, newborn nigga, new marriage, and you ain't listening already? Shouldn't have got married.
tell me this: if a white guy had a video with that title, do you think that his channel would be at risk of being taken down? Give me a yes or no. Everybody who's talking shit, just know you're being ignored. I can't even read the comments, so just know your comment is not even being seen. So give me a yes or no. Right. So my warning to Kwame as his brother supporting him, again, I'm a net.
How the fuck is you my brother and how are you supporting me because you keep talking about me, nigga? What is wrong with you, nigga? You can support somebody by head nod and not saying a fucking thing. What's up with you fake smart motherfuckers that the only way you want to help somebody is unless you there to do the work and stand on top of them and be there with them? Like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? Some of y'all. Jesus. This man say, let me go back.
Kwame, it's not even being seen. So give me a yes or no. Right. So my warning to Kwame as his brother supporting him, again, I'm a net supporter of Kwame. I think the Blackie thing need to be called out. Y'all know I've been down with Dr. Claude Anderson and all this other stuff. So a lot of the stuff he's saying, y'all know we've been saying this for years. So these are things that we believe in completely. I'm glad more people are saying these things. Rajon Rondo, who plays for the Lakers, I think, hit me up and he sent me a note saying, why do you think black athletes are brainwashed? And I didn't get a chance to talk to Rajon. He's from Louisville like I am. I look forward to talking to him because I do think that, unfortunately, mainstream media, white-owned media, seeks to brainwash and control black people. I just believe that. So I'm happy, I'm elated that you have an athlete that is using his critical thinking skill, that is displaying something other than the fact that he's 7 feet tall and can dribble a basketball. I don't give a shit about that. We got a lot of guys who can dribble basketballs. I love the fact that he's spoken on the way the black elite tend to leave behind the masses. It's ridiculous. So Kwame's calling this out, and I love it. And the reason I'm making this point is because I don't want him to lose his platform.
No.
Right? But at some point, somebody might come in there, a YouTube executive might come into a meeting and say, okay, this video's got the N-word in the title, and he's using the N-word left and right all throughout this video. Are we just protecting him because he's black? Because this actually,
are we just protecting him because we black? You ain't never come out on none of the.
Made this point about white media. This is only part of critical thing.
You ain't never come out and ask why they protecting Charlamagne. You ain't never come out and ask why they protecting a lot of these rappers from saying whatever they want to say, destroying these kids. You ain't never said nothing about nobody but Kwame. He's a chump. All right, let's go to the one from you from today. Because today you got a little tricky too. All right, now all those videos, and then get us to the one for today. I don't know why you talking about me so much, but goodness gracious. Yeah, and saying that, and oh God, I hope y'all can please explain to me why this came back up. I thought this was a dead issue. I wasn't talking to him. He wasn't talking about me. It was over with. Why is Dr. Boyce back over here talking? I don't get it. So.
Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, dropping Sam and uncensored. Hit me program.
Hey, brother.
Doing good, man. How are you?
We blessed, man. And definitely on a serious note, we hit this brother today. I texted him today about an hour and a half ago, and he said, let's rock. And this is why we always appreciate Dr. Boyce Watkins for coming on this platform, because 100 down to the T, always been thorough. To the shits, man, because a couple weeks ago, we had you on, and we talked about Kwame Brown. Now, Kwame Brown was on his platform and making a lot of headway. He was talking about Stephen A. He was talking about Charlamagne. He was really getting a lot of people's attention. And during that podcast and during that segment, we all collectively saluted Kwame Brown for his efforts and his actions. Now, the day after, he goes on YouTube and he has some very disparaging remarks about you. And I like to say first, it kind of confused me because I thought that he was going off of our initial interview that we had done with you just because it was hours removed from it. But it was from what you said in your car about him using the N-word in particular in his title. And he goes on to say that you are old school version of the go along, get along gang, that you've had things about you from this, and this just carried this firestorm from his followers and different people of basically saying, yes, this, we hate Dr. Boyce too. Man, talk us through it, man. First off, clear the record on the conversation that you had or in your car in regards to the title, and just talk about the backlash you received after.
Well, when that happened, I had people that hit me up that were confused, because they said what just didn't surprise me. They said, well, I watched your video and you didn't seem like you were dissing Kwame. You were supportive. And so I don't understand where that came from. And I was the same way. I was like, yeah, I don't have an issue with Kwame. I don't understand where that's coming from. And I think that maybe he was feeling a little under attack. Maybe he was feeling like everybody was out to get him, and I wasn't out to get him. That statement about, like, I don't take back anything that I said in the original video because it was true. I think he took the advice. He took the N-word out the title, because the thing about it is that he was setting so many fires and hitting so many targets. It's just little things like that I was like, well, you got to be careful, man, because they're coming.
So which one is it, Doc? First you said you like what I was saying. Now I'm hitting so many fires and I'm starting so many fires. What is the fire? If you like what I'm saying and I'm telling the truth, what fire? And if I'm hitting fire based on truth, then why are you not in the fire with me? You don't stand for truth? You don't stand for nothing, Doc? You said you agree with some of the stuff I'm saying. So if some of the stuff I'm saying is getting me fire, why you ain't in the fire with me?
They might take your channel down. I would hate for them to do that, right? So I guess I see it as a misunderstanding. I know somebody sent them a text and said, was like, like this ain't it. Like, this is not the guy. And Kwame just kind of said, okay. The guy said.
Would you like me to show you this text message that you talking about? A guy sent me a text message and said, "You ain't the guy." And I kind of said, okay.
Me the screenshot of the short conversation and I think like if you're shouting out, Dr. Claude Anderson, Judge Joe Brown, I forgot something else that he was talking about. It's like we're speaking the same message. We're on the same team, and so I don't know what to say about it. I don't really. I got a lot of trolling because of it, and I really chalk it up honestly to the fact that people just, there are some people that just follow the crowd. Whatever the crowd's saying, they're just gonna repeat that, and it don't bother me.
Basically, y'all following me because y'all some follow the crowd dummies. Basically, just condescending bitch. If you're not following him, you just not that smart. Basically,
man, it's life. You know what I mean? And here's the other thing too. When you talk about if you assume that Kwame was shooting at the wrong target, I can't sit here and pretend like I don't understand that to a point, because I did that. I shot at Russell Simmons, about 15 years ago. I went real hard at the rush card, harder than I needed to.
I'm shooting at the wrong target.
Russell at the time, by being able to forgive and forget. I said, man, that's matching that experience. So really, I can understand why this mistake happens, and I really think when you hit that so-called OG status, sometimes people make, the mistakes are made. So that's all it is. It's no hard feelings, man. I'm built for it. It's not a big deal.
Right now, did you ever behind the scenes get a chance to message or talk to Kwame at all, or you guys just kind of just let it go?
Nah, I know people that know him, and we haven't talked. But if he ever wanted to come on my podcast and talk, he's welcome. If he ever wanted me to come through and rap with him, I'd do that. Our styles are probably a little bit different, and I can't go. I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want it to come off as criticism. But it's like from what I have seen, it's like a kind of roasting and going after a lot of people. And I think that there's a point where you got to kind of like pull ranks back in and really say, okay, what are we going to really build for the community? Like we've made it clear what we hate, what we don't like. Now, what do we love? What are we going to fight for? What are we going to build?
So you saying I made it clear what I hate and what I don't like? I never said I hated anything. I just talked about some punk bitches that were talking about me. But you keep using the word that I'm going after people as if they didn't say my name. Boy, Dr. Boyce, you seem to be a bias-ass doctor.
I think Kwame gets that, right? And I'm not even going to say he's not a builder in areas of his life. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that just generally as men, there's a point where we got to say, okay, we've roasted everybody, right? Now what are we going to build for the community? And I'd like to see some of that happen over time.
Yeah, we were just having that same conversation here. We talked about with the YouTube thing and the Facebook, sometimes people were not used to getting that, initial rush of fame, whether it be 10, 20,000 people support you. Some people, I think, don't think before they're acting. They see something and they just jump on it and go. And the next thing you know, everybody's getting behind it with that. So I think, in my opinion, that Kwame kind of got caught up in the fame and the rush to judgment, the whole situation.
So wait a minute. I'm more famous than everybody on the panel that's talking about me. I was the number 1 draft pick, and just because a bald head scallywag called me a bust, don't mean that I didn't make history. And that's where the brainwashing is. A lot of you people got. If something ever was to happen to me, they'll start telling you I'm great then, because they know how much it is, how much history I made with a teenage black boy, was the first ever number 1 draft pick. But y'all so blind to the facts that y'all will let them devalue me while I'm alive. And then when somebody gone, then they value is somehow great. You've watched it over and over again. When are you gonna get tired of it? But oh God, how is the number one draft pick getting caught up in fame? This is a look. This face look like a caught up in fame face to you? How is the brother that never talked to me know what my mental state is? It seems to be that's what all of you guys do. You guys know how to come up with these fake ass theories. That's why these kids can't really build nothing, because you niggas done taught them how to talk too goddamn much and come up with theories and what you think. I don't give a fuck about what you think. You didn't ask me a question. And for you guys to act like you can't understand and hear the message in what I'm saying, you've never heard me say nothing to lay out no plan. All you heard was the rah, rah, rah and arguing. That's all three of y'all gentlemen heard.
And I articulated that on the platform a couple of times myself. So
Yeah, I felt that way too. You know, because he been doing his videos for a couple of years, and for some reason it just caught fire. Like all of a sudden, you know, really it was similar with him, Kevin said.
So for some reason, it wasn't the reason that your homeboys, your go along, get along gang members, they shouldn't have been talking shit. Now he's about to repeat what he said before. He's about to repeat it again.
And Takashi's videos for a couple of years, and for some reason it just caught fire. Like all of a sudden, you know, really it was similar with him, Kevin Samuels, and Tekashi 6ix9ine. Those are three guys where they were doing content and doing okay, right? But then suddenly it was like boom, you know, and this, you know, and when that happens, you know, I don't know, I can't think of too many times where that specific thing has happened. I've had different things, you know, things occur, but it does kind of shift where suddenly it's like, oh, everybody's now paying attention.
Yep.
And you have to really be thoughtful about how you proceed from that point, you know. But I'm not being critical of it. It just is what it is.
Yep. One of the criticisms also that Kwame Brown gave to you, and that we've seen throughout comments, and that we were also giving criticism of, is a lot of talking but no action. You've done a lot of talking, but what are you doing? Talk about it. What are you doing?
Me personally, I take pride in the fact that I've employed dozens of black people. Indeed. You know, I don't talk about it much, but there's dozens of people that can pay bills because, you know, I gave them a job. I know another thing too is everybody talks about, you know, a lot of people talk about how much they love Powernomics and Dr. Claude Anderson, but you know, a lot of the celebrities will call them on the phone. But my question is, how many of these people are writing it?
So actually what you do, you automatically go to Dr. Boyce Walker. I mean, you go to somebody else. Hold on, let me go back. You start talking about Claude Anderson. Hold on.
Powernomics, ain't about it much, but there's dozens of people that can pay bills because, you know, I gave them a job. I know another thing too is everybody talks about, you know, a lot of people talk about how much they love Powernomics and Dr. Claude Anderson. But you know, a lot of the celebrities will call them on the phone. But my question.
So what kind of bills could they pay working for you? Is it just a light, water, gas? What kind of bills and what kind of jobs do you provide? How many jobs? Because I think Michi X has got something to say about how the hell you pay and how many bills she can pay, alleged, with the way you goddamn create jobs.
Is how many of these people are writing a check. You know, like if you really love and support something, you got to put your money where your mouth is.
Yes,
white folks do that. You know, they'll build churches and foundations and think tanks and all kinds of institutions and their universities. You know, it's stuff like that. And I think for us, we got to learn that the aspect of economic maturity is the ability to manifest and create and build up the things you believe in. Like there should be a Powernomics University that's got, you know, a $10 million a year budget that the community is backing up, you know. And so in terms of things that we've done, we taught 1 million black people how to buy their first share of stock. That's going to make a major impact on black wealth this generation and the next. You know, the Powernomics Corporation, we probably put about $300,000 or $400,000 into the Powernomics Corporation, just buying Dr. Claude Anderson's books. Ice Cube and I hit Ice Cube up and I said, look, you know, I think it's great we're shouting him out, but we should support this and let people know we're supporting this. And Cube is solid. He came right through. And actually, Cube is another guy I think Kwame gave a positive shout out to. So we got all the same friends. So there's no reason for us to be in any sort of disagreement. And
we got all the same friends. Motherfucker, you ain't my friend. And I don't know Ice Cube like that. He not my damn friend. Shout out to you, though. You know, thank you for that check with the big 3. You my dog, my nigga. But I don't know Ice Cube like that. You ain't finna make me slap hands and get in the go along, get along game. Now, that was my associate, business friend, partner, boss, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think he'd consider me a friend. And I don't think he'd consider your weasel as a friend either. But let me go again. Yeah, we got a couple more seconds left. Couple more minutes.
Follow through. And I think that's what we need to look for. And that's really an important aspect of manhood that I've been trying to encourage people to consider. You know, when you talk about the men in the community, the men in the family, and I was defining manhood for our 18-year-old, I would almost say that manhood should be shaped by, you know, whether or not the people in your space are better off because you're there. Like, have you made their lives better in some way? Have you made them feel safer? Do they feel like they can depend on you? Are you coming through for them? You know, and so when you talk about the men in the Black community,
man, I see why you keep talking about me so much, because when you don't say nothing about me, the shit you be saying is a bunch of bullshit. But I had to expose your motherfucking ass because, sir, I asked you to quit talking about me, and for the life of me, sir, I don't know why you keep bringing my name up and acting like it's some beef between me and you. I wasn't even mentioning you. After that video I made in the kitchen, I ain't say nothing else about you. So there's no reason for you to keep talking about me, sir. No, it ain't no beef. No, I don't need to talk to you. It ain't nothing. Just go back to doing what you're doing. I'm going to go back to doing what I'm doing. That's it. You won't stand on my goddamn shoulders. No, sir. I won't let no condescending motherfucker like you stand on my shoulders. No, sir. But it's late. I'm tired. This is my first time being online this late. I respect. I salute y'all. We in the building. We the people in the building, boy. No wonder these jokers keep watching these views and everything. Boy, the people is in the building. Yes, sir. We the people have been speaking. And y'all go dissect this video. Y'all go make some more videos. Y'all go give your reactions. Add some clips in of Dr. Boyce saying the shit that he's been saying. And, you know, y'all have fun with it. Since you want to talk, let's everybody talk. So I told y'all, it's easy to expose the go along, get along game. You don't have to do much. I'm not calling myself quicksand is not this big old aggressive, rough and tough thing. Quicksand, just settle on in, sit on down, and just let you do the work. Dr. Boyce, you did the work. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Thank you for everybody who hit that super chat, the cash app. And thank y'all for being here. I almost want to sing on this motherfucking mic the way this shit look. I wish I was a singer or a rapper. I got now. I go ahead and do what I do for y'all. But I'm tired. So I hope y'all can start seeing these snakes. These people are everywhere. They're your bosses. They're your coworkers. They're your neighbors. Hey, we got to wake up, people. Got to wake up. So love y'all. Good night. I'm going to bed.